I wrote a book called Life is My Guru. And essentially, like, I wanted to provide like a practical guide for how people can look at their life experiences and understand what life is trying to teach them, because I really feel like everything happens for a reason. But I also believe that we're divinely inspired and also have the divine constitution to make the decision which way we go.
Correct.
And I don't think the universe cares either way, because it knows that eventually we're going to be on the right path at some point, because the universe doesn't really have a timeline. And so with that being said, like, what did you have to go through, or what did you do to go through the healing? Because I'll tell you, man, like, and I've said this in other interviews, by the time I was 11 or maybe 12 or 13, I witnessed another friend kill another friend with a bat. One of my close friends, a store robbery, killed 2 people, double homicide. I lost my best friend and cousin through a police chase. And then in the 8th grade, I got put in the mentally retarded class because I was going through so much. I started to act out in school, although I had always been an AB student. And so within a span of like 2 years, I go through all of this. And I'll tell you, it was a lingering effect throughout my life. And it really hung on, and a lot of trauma you would see in how I acted and related to people.
Right.
So what did you do to kind of, and I want to share this for the young men that are listening, because I think it's really important, because a lot of our men are lost. What did you do to go through that healing? Because you lost a brother, you had to experience drug infestation in the family, etc.
Absolutely. The first thing I'll say is prayer is a thing that we don't take serious enough. Because it's tainted with bad examples.
Okay, gotcha.
Who may say, "Oh, I just prayed," and they're gonna do something crazy, and it's like, "Well, if prayer do that, I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
Right. So, which is very sad. But I would say prayer is one thing. Whatever your religion is, whatever your spiritual discipline is, find that way to meditate, pray, etc. That's number one. Number two, because that connects you, to the God within and the universe, etc. Number two, holistic therapy. Holistic therapy, and I'm specifying non-drug related therapy. Because that does not help. That masks everything. Because one area that I was exposing and protesting against and helping to get laws passed actually in Congress was the abuses in the field of mental health. Okay, because of the overdrugging of people. There's over 100 million people in America currently.
Especially our children.
Absolutely. Extremely. It's horrible. So holistic therapy, dealing with talk therapy, water therapy, dealing with breathing techniques and all of that. You want to get with holistic healers and holistic practitioners who are therapists who can guide you through those different methods. Don't be afraid to go to therapy. Okay. Find, again, the therapist you can trust. Find the counselor you can trust, somebody who relates to you, somebody who is a very deep, ethical, moral person with personal information. Okay, because that's another thing. Most of us don't go to therapy because we don't know if we could trust that person. We genuinely do not know if 100%. I tell you this, are you going to be talking about this to somebody else? Especially depending on how many eyes are on you, if you become influential and you're seen, etc. So, but do that. Also, get with a group of strong, like-minded people. Like the Most High Elijah Muhammad said that we need to get with at least 5 to 7 like-minded people. He was specifying in business, but that also applies to everything else. Get with a good support group of people who are in a stronger position that you see yourself going to. So they can help to guide you through that. Don't be afraid to cry with the right person. Brothers, get the right woman. Right, specifically the right one. And also talk to your elders about the traditions of trauma in your family. Okay, so that they can guide you through how they handled it, or if they experience the same thing, because we tend to repeat a lot of the trauma that our parents and grandparents went through, because trauma is on a genetic or epigenetic level. And science has now determined that on a cellular level, we tend to carry on the weight of the trauma of our ancestors all the way back to slavery. And we get around police and never had a negative experience, for example, with a police officer, but for some reason we just have that tense feeling as if, because it's not just that, it's connected to trauma from people in our ancestry as well. So there's a number of layers as to what helped me with all that. Exercise is another.
Yeah.
As you see, your brother works out
Yeah,
constantly.
you get it in.
Yeah, all day long, man. That's tremendous for me. That helps.
Yo, you like 6'6" and flexible like a little gymnast.
Hey man, look, hey, you gotta be ready, bro. Y'all better stop playing. You gotta be ready for whatever, And again, because the health is important. So the spiritual health, the mental health, the physical health, it all goes together. So those are some of the different methods I would say that I've employed that helped me. And I think that's of course, the counsel, as I said, from the elders, that's very critical.
Counsel for the elders.
Very, very
That's
critical.
a big one.
Yes, very, very good from the right elders.
You're right.
I gotta say that too, because some of our elders now they be on some other stuff, and it's
Like the little homie now.
Yeah, sad to say.
Mentality wise.
Yes, we respect them. It's just so yes. Make sure you get the right person that you can trust that will guide you in a righteous, positive way.
Yeah.
And that will help to build you up, because right now masculinity is under attack.
We're definitely going to talk about that later.
I'm already know. I ain't going to try to jump ahead. But yes, sir. You know where I'm going.
But you mentioned earlier, like, the importance of finding a good whole woman. And
Absolutely.
When I say whole, I mean healed. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about how important it is? Because I see, like, what we see on the internet and what we see, unfortunately, the conversations that are being had in families, like, is very negative.
Very much so.
And so, could you talk a little bit about the importance of having a good whole woman in your presence while you're on a journey, especially like this as an activist?
Absolutely. First thing is, you can tell the strength of a man by the woman he has next to him.
Yeah.
You can tell the character. You can tell really the mission and the motive.
Yeah.
When you see that queen next to him. We are taught that 75% of the work is with the woman, meaning a nation, as Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, a nation can rise only as high as its woman. So no nation rises to any degree unless the woman rises up in that degree. So what that means, we have to make sure she is healthy, she's intelligent, she's strong, she's moral, ethical, accountable. She has love in her heart. She's divinely feminine.
Yeah.
We have to make sure she has that, because the nation comes from her.
Absolutely.
We carry the seed now. So sisters, please don't get it twisted. We carry the seed, but you carry the womb.
Yeah.
So we need each other.
Yeah.
So there can't be this big I, little you. No, we need each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So she has to be well-rounded and whole.
Yeah.
Also, a woman who genuinely understands where she is spiritually and mentally, and who is honest about that, and who wants to work on it.
Yes.
Same thing for a man.
Yeah.
But again, we're talking about the woman, the importance, because in order for me to go up against this beast, Satan, that we're dealing with, this enemy, I have to have some peace in my life.
Yeah.
Right? So we go to Almighty God, Allah, the universe, whatever you want to call it, him, her, the spiritual being, or the supreme being. We go to that first as the source of our peace, and then the physical representation of that is supposed to be our woman.
Yeah.
Right? We don't need craziness in the house
Right.
when we just dealt with it in the world.
Right.
Preferably. Right? So I want to be able to walk into a peaceful environment, because I just came from hell on earth out here.
Right.
Help me out, please.
Yeah.
Which requires that I do what needs to be done as a man in order to earn that too.
1,000%.
So we got to be very reciprocal here. Brothers, you cannot ask for something that you don't give in return.
Right.
She has to be divinely feminine. Well, we got to be divinely masculine.
Absolutely.
All right. Are we earning that? Are we making it to where the environment is safe? Does she feel good and heard and listened to? Does she feel like, okay, I'm protected? You know what? I'm going to protect that man's peace.
Right.
And make sure the house is good. I'm going to cook for him. I'm going to make sure
Because
everything's
she's
good.
protected.
She's protected.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I want to exchange? See, the conversations are being had by people with no damn real experience.
Yeah.
For the most part, in a responsible manner. And they're listening to people who are not 20, 30, 40 plus years married.
Yeah.
Who are not on social media.
Yeah, right.
Right? The elders who are like, well, these people crazy. What are y'all talking about? We've been married for 62 years.
Yeah.
And they say simple things. They're like, what are y'all talking about? Nowadays, brother, the gender war, which is a tool of the U.S. government.
Absolutely.
All day, every day, and people are falling into it, is a way to institute and activate and perpetuate depopulation.
Yep.
We're going to go into that later on, but that's the overall purpose of the gender war. Get men and women to attack each other.
Yep.
Who benefits from that?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Destroys the nuclear family.
Come on now. And if you don't have a family, which we are taught family is the cornerstone of a nation.
Yep.
If you don't have the family, that means if you pull that from the corner, the building falls.
Yeah.
The nation falls. Everything falls. You better protect the family. If you don't protect the family, who the hell is going to help you?
Right.
Where do you go for peace? Where do you go as a base of operations?
Right.
We are at war, bro. So you can apply the military science to everything. Your woman has to be your captain, damn near, in your home.
Yes,
So
indeed.
she has to take instruction. She will take it from you if you exercise wisdom, and she see, okay, that's a man I can trust because he leads with wisdom. I can listen to him, which means, brothers, you got to read.
Yep.
We got to study.
Yep.
So we got to be ready because she looking at us like, nigga, I'm the one teaching you about everything.
Nobody's following the fool.
Now, come on now, man. Nobody, male or female.
Yeah.
So we have to be mindful that the woman is exceedingly important.
Yeah.
The reason why that other side of it is, the reason why that's not being listened to or repeated as much as it used to be is because a lot of women are listening to the wrong women.
Yeah.
And they're carrying out actions and behaviors that are not reflective of a righteous woman.
Yeah.
Not reflective of a wise woman. Not reflective of a self-respecting woman.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of sisters out here looking crazy because
Yeah.
they're listening to crazy sisters who are activating their trauma or listening to the wrong dude.
Yeah.
That's all. It's just certain people, and those examples are being highlighted and pumped up
On the
in
algorithm.
the algorithm
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, you're not listening to the sister over here, divinely feminine, doing her thing. She's successful. She's gorgeous. She's self-made. She's independent, all that. But she's like, no. I'm interdependent.
Yeah.
I need this man.
And he needs her.
And he needs me. Yeah, I may make more money, or we both make money. But I'm not getting this twisted.
Yeah.
No money can replace a man.
Yeah.
No money can replace a woman.
Yeah.
Even though some dudes out here, again, the indoctrination is real, but in the comments, they're like, man, this dude is crazy. He's a, what is it, a simp? Let me say this about, let me just mention this.
Yeah.
To you weird niggas on the internet, pardon me, you're going to bleep it out, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But some of y'all out here are falling into this effeminate behavior.
Yeah.
When a man stands up for women. I'm not saying standing up for just sisters in general doing craziness. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying women.
Yeah.
Genuinely our sisters. Is that how you treat your mama? Is that how you treat your auntie?
Yep.
So because, okay, they may act out a certain way. Okay, so that means all women are just some terrible B words. Is this what y'all are saying?
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy. And you're falling into this system. That's how this goes. My disgust now is that there's no protection. You're doing the same thing that the Klan would do.
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing that this enemy would do when they took us out of the home, when they would take us on buck breaking farms and buck break us in front of the whole plantation, rip us apart by horses after they tarred and feathered us. You're doing the same thing, but now you're doing it virtually. And everybody's applauding, now realizing no wise soldier attacks his own military brethren.
Yep.
You don't attack people in your own army. You look stupid as hell. So then when it happens in real life by the police or somebody like that, you don't know what to do because you've been so indoctrinated to not help each other.
Yep.
And it all goes back to the family. So again, people can say whatever they want. That's why when I get invited on these shows, I cut through all that nonsense.
Yep.
But brother, tell these sisters, no, I'm telling you,
Yep.
bro, first off, you handle business, number one. Number two, to the sisters, yes, hold your sister accountable all day.
Yeah.
We both have to.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to get out here and attack each other because I know who the real enemy is. Number one, as Minister Farrakhan said, is our ignorance.
Yep.
Number one, above everything else, not the white man, it's our ignorance.
Right.
Number one. Number two is the system of white supremacy, this satanic evil system. Okay, those are the two things.
Yeah.
So if you're ignorant as hell, which many of us are, then you need to realize I have to change the way I think. Sisters should be protected. Brothers should be protected and respected. But we have to earn that on both ends.
Right. 100%.
Oh, that was a long answer, my brother.
No. It was needed, though, because at the end of the day, the big point that hit home with me is when we start attacking each other, in our community, in our bodies, that's called an autoimmune condition.
Come on now. Come on, brother.
When you start to get MS, multiple sclerosis, when you start to get lupus, when you start to get Hashimoto's, when you start to get arthritis, that's you attacking you.
Yes.
That means that you no longer recognize yourself as self anymore.
Come on.
And I think it's really important for us to get back to that point where in Indian culture, they call it namaste. I recognize the God in you that is also in me. So I think it's a really important point that we needed to hit home. That wasn't even on the questions list, but I thought it was really important we hit that because I think, again, this is all about healing the people.